Let's make sure this mic on. Testing, testing. What's up, y'all? It's your girl V with Reality Recap here for our part two catch-up tea session for my unsolicited thoughts on the latest episodes of Real Housewives of Potomac and Real Housewives of New York. Let's make sure we are live across all platforms. And we are. We are streaming live right now across Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I hope you guys had a great Friday, Junior. We're going to get into it. I'm still catching up. Yesterday, I did part one where we went through Love and Marriage Huntsville, Bell Collective, and the season finale of Real Housewives of Orange County. This is part two of my catch up, going over Real Housewives of Potomac this past Sunday's episode and also Tuesday's episode of Real Housewives of New York. I will be back tomorrow to give my thoughts on yet last night's episode of Salt Lake City. And I owe you guys a weekly roundup of reality news, so I'll make sure to squeeze that in. But set your alerts, guys. Always streaming live across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you can't watch live, go to the links in my bio, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can watch at any time. All right? Let me know your thoughts on these episodes as I go through mine. And we're going to start with Real Housewives of Potomac. So, Real Housewives of Potomac, we are back at the night one dinner where Mia said that in a past outing with her and one of her friends, which sounds like it was almost 3 years ago, Karen butt dialed her after upstairs, ma'am. These kids. Hi, Lily. How are you? But yeah, what was I saying? My daughter just completely threw me off coming down here. Manifesting my own studio, manifesting my own studio. But yes, Real Housewives of Potomac, Sunday's episode. We're back at the table for the night one dinner where we had Mia bring some of her close friends to the dinner. They are in Lake Norman and Charlotte, where Mia is hosting a girls' trip. And she has one of her friends there that co-signed for her that about 3 years ago. Happy Friday Eve, Lily. I called it Friday Junior. But one of Mia's friends is there co-signing for her that on a night out with Mia, her friend, and Karen, they had a good time. And they left the restaurant that Karen butt dialed them. And she heard Karen telling someone that the girls think that or Ray thinks I'm with the girls. So, of course, there were questions at the table. Did you hear a man's voice? And Karen, as we like, it's not like she would admit to anything. Why would she? It's deny till you die. But Karen said that she did not remember that or why she would have said that. She said that she had been drinking brown that night and that she got behind the wheel, but she pulled over and called a driver. So I don't know if it was the driver that she was trying to say that she was talking to, but it was real slick of Mia to bring that up. Um, and Mia says she brought it up because Karen came for Jackie. So if you come for one of hers, she going after you, and that's why she brought it up. But Mia also made it a point to call out how Karen said that she got behind the wheel, but then called a Uber. Lily said she was with blue eyes. Yeah, I don't know, but it was suspicious. Now, Mia did say in her confessional that the part that she left out was that butt dial wasn't the same night, but the next morning. But she didn't get into that at the dinner table. She just said that in her confessional. So when Uncle Daddy Andy put up on Twitter or X that he is looking for reunion questions because they're taping Trust and Believe, I will be putting that up there because we need more details. But that's the part that Mia left out at the table. Ashley says that the streets have been talking and she believes Mia. She always saying how the streets talking. Ashley always got information that she don't never use, but she was saying that she believes what Mia's saying because, again, the streets have been talking about Karen and her rendezvous, honey. But this was 3 years ago, so to bring it up now was a little whack. But again, Mia said she brought it up because Karen went after Jackie. What else did we have happen last night? Stacy asked, why hold on to that information for 3 years? And I told you, Mia said, don't come for mine, meaning Jackie. And Karen says Jackie's still a liar. Jackie says in her confessional that, she said, what she said was true, but Karen making her the problem when she has the problem. That's what let me bring that back because I think I sound confusing. But, you know, let me get my thoughts together. Jackie is saying in her confessional that she didn't lie about anything, that she didn't lie about Karen calling her being tipsy, that she told the truth, but that Karen is deflecting and calling her a liar to, kind of deviate from her having an issue with alcohol or anything that's going to hurt her reputation right now because she's going through this court case. Mia asks how was Ray doing through all of this, and Karen says that they were having a moment, before her accident. And they did a little flashback. We know that they did the therapy session last season, and Ray was saying, "I think I love her." And she mentioned that there were struggles with him always being the breadwinner, her being a at-home wife, and now, which we see happens often with these housewife shows, right, where they go from being in the shadows of the husband, and then they're on this show, they're popular, they're making money, they're out, they're traveling, they're at different events and engaging and really becoming a public figure, where that sometimes takes a toll on their marriage. So she was saying that at the time of her accident, she was grieving her mom passing, that she was going through or having a moment with Ray. And that is originally what, Karen said happened when she had the accident. She called it, and I talked about it on that weekly news recap when the news broke of her arrest, that she said she had been emotional driving. And I asked you guys, I said I had never heard of that before. I get it. She was painting this picture and narrative that she was upset, crying, teary eyed when she crashed, right? And then we saw all these other charges come out after the fact. That when she first made that statement, then these charges dropped against her. So she, made that clear that he's still her biggest supporter. He's ride or die for her. He's been there for her every step of the way. But at the time they were going through something, and they're still working on their marriage. What else? What else? Let me put some check marks so I know why I left off in all these notes. Now the next day, we saw Mia. She woke up to a bunch of text messages from G. He was mad about an IG post that Mia had made, and I guess the caption with her in ink. And Mia says that she's trying to support him, but Jackie, I felt, was right. She said that it's too much in his face, right? Like, Mia needs to set some boundaries. She wants to be there for G and support him with his diagnosis of his bipolar, yet she hasn't fully moved on. Well, I'm not gonna say she hasn't fully moved on. G hasn't fully moved on. They're not actually divorced. And on top of that, y'all living in the same building, you close to him. He wants Mia back. He feels like, my opinion and what he's saying is that Mia really didn't try to work out anything. She just moved straight on to ink. So, I mean, present day, G has a girlfriend. We hear that she's about 35 years old, and he's trying, I guess, to move on from Mia. But in this present moment in the episodes, he's not over the situation. He's trying to win her back, and he sees her with Ink all the time. And she said 1 minute he's fine with it, 1 minute he's not. He sees them traveling and around the kids, and he's not okay with it. Sometimes he travels with them, and 1 minute he's good, 1 minute he's not, which can also come with his diagnosis, right? So it's a juggling act for Mia, but I agree with Jackie. It's too much in his face. They shouldn't be living in the same apartment building, and there needs to be some separation. Block him on social media or something like that, so he doesn't see all these posts with ink and be upset by the captions. Jackie also said that G spoils Mia. That a part of the reason why Mia is not able to set these boundaries or cut the cord from G is because that G spoils her, waits on her hand and foot, and she doesn't want to let that go. Now, she's mostly saying that, listen, this is my kid's father. I need the help. It's not that I could just hire a nanny, so why don't you? But Jackie said that she doesn't want to let go of G, really helping her out and waiting on her hand and foot. And I believe that. Lily said on YouTube, Karen needs to own the fact that she's a drunk. She uses her parents' death as an excuse. And to be fair, Lily, I mentioned this before where I know we see Shannon on Real Housewives of Orange County where she's being transparent, owning her DUI, getting her breathalyzer test installed in her car, all of those things. In this case, Karen is still in her legal battle where Shannon was already past it, took put her plea in and got her sentencing or, her punishment. She was done with that. Where I told you guys, we don't know for sure. We can only go by what the police reports and the charges were, but it doesn't seem like Karen is in a space of admitting that she was under the influence. She is working other avenues of it, like saying that she was emotionally driving, saying that, she wasn't read her Miranda rights. She didn't know that she was being arrested. She doesn't want the camera footage to be used against her or revealed to the public. So she doesn't seem in a place of admittance. Not saying that that's right. Not saying that I don't believe that it was a DUI. I'm just telling you where I think her head is. So, right. Um, at the time of the accident, it was around the anniversary of her mother's death. That did happen some years ago. But we can't necessarily tell people when their grief period is over. So I just look at it as right. Like she's not in a space of admittance to it being a DUI. Lily said, do you truly believe that at one point she told Mia she needs rehab, or is another lie Mia told? I don't believe she told her that. I don't believe that Karen would trust in any of these women to that capacity to say that. I honestly don't believe that. Unless she said it when she was, tipsy and maybe made a joke out of it. But I don't know if it's something that she would trust Mia with when they were beefing last season. They really hadn't even got over it. And then they come into this season. It's not likely that Karen gave her that information. Um, We talked about Mia and her text messages from G. We see Giselle, she left the girls' trip for a minute to go home for her twins' cap and gown ceremony, which was great to see. Congratulations to them. She seemed like a proud parent, and Jamal was there, past the holy whore. He was there. You guys know that he's engaged again now to a pastor in his church. And at the time, a few episodes back, they asked Giselle if she knew he had a girlfriend. And she was just like, yeah, but that's still the father of my kids, and that's what it is. But He's now engaged to that same woman that was his girlfriend at the time of this taping. Um, but the ladies have breakfast while, Giselle's on her way back to North Carolina from the cap and gown ceremony. Giselle calls Wendy to say happy birthday. Um, I don't know, guys. I feel like it's too much too fast with this relationship with Giselle and Wendy. They went from completely not being able to even talk to each other, look at each other, to now being cool. I just don't know if I trust it. I don't know if I believe that if Robin was still there, that this truce would have come about. I don't know if I agree with that. But anyway, Giselle called. She sung happy birthday. She was dancing. And when Wendy hung up, she said that's how she wanted her birthday to be. She wanted to be zen and about forgiveness. And, Jackie chimed in. Sorry, Jackie chimed in saying yes, because holding on to grudges just make you bitter and mean. And Mia also jumped in saying, yeah, make you an old mean bitch. Of course, they were talking about Karen. But Stacy asked the question, like, are you guys talking about Karen? And Jackie said, oh, no, just in general. But she was really talking about Karen. You can't tell me that she wasn't. Um, and Kay, Kiana, I'll call her Kay, she jumped in and saying, let's leave, we need to leave Karen alone. Y'all been on her. Y'all was on her yesterday about her drunk calling and butt dialing and what's going on with her DUI and what's going on with Ray. And she said she felt like Karen handled the situation well because she thought what Mia did by bringing up the 3-year-old butt dialing was low of her to do. And Mia, she's sipping her orange juice. She's saying like that's girlfriend boot camp. Karen taught me well, and that's how I got my flute. We working on yours. And I watched the interview with Mia and Carlos, right? And I've also listened to Carlos King podcast. I listen to it often, called Reality with the King. Hi, Summer's Finest. Thank you for checking in. But yeah, Reality with the King, Carlos King, he talks about Mia and how he feels like, and I have to agree with him that she got this flute, she's in the middle, and she worked for that. Like, she will do pretty much anything, put anything on camera to get to the top. And we see that. I think a lot of you already thought that with her doing this paternity test with her son being a minor, not able to say if he would want this out there like that or not. You feel like she shouldn't do that. I think in her mind, she's saying, well, G brought it up on TV, so now I want to clear my name on TV. But having that storyline, having this triangle relationship on TV, all of that. He said that, she is clawing her way to the top and wants to stay there. And I see that in her. I do. I see that in her from that comment. I see it in her from, she's all over the place now. Like, she's the star. She's doing all these interviews and everywhere. And I truly do feel like that is Mia's mentality, you know? Like, started from the bottom, now we here. And she's going to do whatever she can to stay there. But yeah, Kay says she don't need no flute. She good. And she said, but you trying to keep yours with your triangle relationship. It started to get shady, y'all. It was getting real shady, real good. The bones was flying everywhere. I told y'all, was so many bones that I could make a skeleton. Dr. Mia. Dr. Mia. He like, Mia be lying. Mia be lying again. That's what he be calling her. But yeah, and Mia said, "Oh, you wanna talk about relationships? What about you and your street pharmacist boyfriend?" And then here come Ashley again. Yeah, that I did hear that. That was a rumor that you had a street pharmacist boyfriend. And I just kept saying, like, who be telling Ashley all of this stuff and she just sit on it? She don't never use it, but it's always a chime in like, I heard it. So I'm starting to wonder, Are you the one giving this information to Mia? Are you the one in the background dispersing this information? I'm starting to think so. What y'all think? But I'm starting to think Ashley is secretly behind the scenes. When if you want to be messy, you might as well join in with me and be messy, because you ain't really got no storyline, Ashley. GNA is not the not it, honey. And we don't see nobody publicly claiming you or wanting to date you on this show. And we tired of seeing you go through this divorce with Michael. We over it. So join the messy train with Mia. And if you have this information, bring it to the forefront yourself. This light in my eye. Let me see if I can turn it down a little bit. Okay. It's a little better. Whew. These ring lights are blinding me. But yeah, I just always noticed that Ashley is always chiming in with the, yeah, I heard that too. She heard about the Karen and her rendezvous and, the whole butt down she heard about this situation. She just always heard something coincidentally. But Kay says that's her past. She didn't honestly confirm or deny the street pharmacist boyfriend, but she said that's the past. And that her current boyfriend, I think she says a licensed clinical therapist or something like that. But, she made it clear that's her past. Her new man is a professional, and she's an entrepreneur. Mia says she's an entrepreneur too, who didn't have to go to the streets. Isn't stripping the streets? I didn't understand that, but that's what she said, that she didn't have to go to the streets. But I believe stripping is the streets, so I don't get it. But Mia also said that we know about the streets stitches to Kiana. And I felt like that was a low blow. Like, we saw what Kiana went through at the GNA event last year. We know she got the stitches from the altercation with Deborah, Ashley's friend. And we also know that Kiana is suing Deborah. Deborah countersued her, and they're in the middle of that. And I just thought it was tasteless and a low blow. Do you guys feel the same? You let me know. But, Mia brought that up and it was a low blow. And Jackie jumps in because she's on Mia's side. We don't harp on the past. But ma'am, Mia started this whole conversation. Mia started it and Kiana jumped on it. So she started it, bringing up the whole street pharmacist situation. She started it with Karen. So I didn't get why it was like talking about we don't harp on the past when she was the one that started harping first. But it went left for me when Ashley asked Kay, "So I don't see you have a scar." Acting like fake, acting like she want to know, did she clear up the scar with her skin line? Like, you said you have a skincare line. Is that how you got rid of the scar? Because I don't see anything. It was giving. Are you still friends with Deborah, even though you said that you're not? And you put that friendship on hold. Are you trying to make like it wasn't as bad as it was when we saw the blood dripping down her face? Because that Deborah is now being sued for this. I didn't know how to take that, and I was saying, instead of asking her about her skincare line, you should be asking her how she blend her leave out, because sis, that curly hair with her fuzzy hair on top was not blending well. So not the right questions to be asking. And Kay got upset. She was saying, like, you of all people, knowing that your friend was the one that I got into this altercation with, that you brought to the party, you shouldn't be asking me anything about my scar. She was really upset. She walked away from the table crying. I didn't like that though, okay? You got to stand there and fight. You got to stand 10 toes down. I don't like when these housewives walk away. Don't let nobody run you away, i.e., Shannon. But stop running. Sit there and keep going. Like, you were doing good. Y'all was going toe to toe. Why did she leave the table? But Wendy ran after her to check on her and console her. She was upset about it. And she did come back to the table to set clear boundaries that we not, don't ask me anything about my scar, that event, that altercation. Don't ask me anything. And Ashley, in her confessional, acting clueless per usual, is saying like, oh, I guess, from her reaction, there's more, she has more resentment than she's letting me know. She got to let you know that. Why does she have to let you know that she's upset that you had somebody come to an event knowing that they were coming to confront? Maybe you didn't think it was going to get that far, but you knew she was coming there to start some shit. Real talk. And I got hit in my face. I had to get stitches, and you think we going to be cool to talk about it? What planet is this again? What is she talking about? Lily on YouTube said, I'm getting sick and tired of bunions. She needs to go. Agreed. Kay didn't need to get up and walk off. Yeah, I just wanted her to stand there and stay your ground, say your piece, and move on. And tell her, like, yeah, I cleared it up. Let me help you clear up them cheeks, Mia, because that crater face ain't doing it. It does look like Mia has done something to her skin, y'all. Like, I posted in my story for y'all that she was dancing on ink because before the episode on Sunday, it looked like her and Ink had unfollowed each other, which I told y'all it's all thirst for the show and ratings and to keep up her popularity. So, ooh, I was thirsty. Sorry, I hope that wasn't all loud in y'all, loud in y'all ear. But she and Ink had unfollowed each other. I told you it was definitely it's for clout. Everything's for clout. Then yesterday or the day before that, they were seen together. She had been traveling, doing a lot of interviews in New York, all over the place. She was on Watch What Happens Live, all of that. She came back and she was dancing on him, but her face was really red and greasy as if she did some type of maybe low grade chemical peel on her face. And you can see in like the next day, there's a difference. So it seems like she's trying to smooth out her skin. I was trying to see if it's still on her page. Now, granted, it was a filter what she posted, but you could definitely tell that she did something. No, it's not on there anymore. You could definitely tell she's done something to her skin. It didn't get rid of it all away. Didn't get rid of it all away, but you can tell there's a difference. Her face is definitely tight. Let me see if y'all can see this. Can you see? Might be a little blurry. You can't really tell. But this is on her page. She just posted about a minute ago. But you can definitely tell she's doing something to try to clear up her skin. But anywho, let's get back to it. Um, they try to move on with breakfast. But then Karen asks, "Can I get messy real quick?" Come on, Karen, get messy. The whole damn breakfast was messy. The chef in the back listening, like, "Oh my God, what is going on here?" But Karen asking, she get messy, asking how are things with Jackie and her children's dad. And she said, "Did you stand by him with his 25 convictions?" Ooh, 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 what? What? So everybody, my reaction was everybody reaction at the table, like more bones falling out. Now, Jackie says that the 25 convictions that Karen was talking about, she says that it was an internal investigation at the police department and that her children's father lost his job and but she supported them. She was there for them. And Karen said, "Yeah, because I heard you left him." Ooh. And Mia was sitting over there doing this. Ooh. Like, yeah, with Karen had her number. So it seems as though even from Mia's confessional that something happened, investigation, he lost his job. Jackie supported him. They broke up because he hurt her feelings. It sounds like he cheated. Again, these are just my allegations that he cheated. They came back together. They break up. They're back together. But that Jackie has definitely supported this man. But Wendy said, "Well, Mia, you coming for Kay while Jackie got these bones in her closet, child." And I was thinking the same thing. Y'all steady pointing fingers with 500 pointing back at y'all. But, Jackie gets upset that Karen brought this up. She ran around the table to sit next to Mia so Mia can defend her and come to her aid because she really can't go toe to toe with these girls. Like Jackie, she came in at the Hatitude party like she wanted to step out of the shadows, be her own person. She's back, and yet you get mad when Mia's friends are there because you aren't the top friend. You're mad at Jesse because her and Jesse, Mia and Jesse are getting close. You run around the table to sit next to her when Karen's coming at you. She cry every time her and Karen or her if she gets into it with Mia or Karen or anybody else. She cry before the conversation is over. She really can't handle it. And I told y'all I didn't know how I felt about her being on this show, but she can't handle it. That part, Summer's finest. She said Mia didn't prepare her friend for the boot camp. She did not. She did not tell her to strap up the boots and get to work. But yeah, she don't fit here. I told you guys I was not feeling. I don't understand why she's back. Jumping into stuff that ain't got nothing to do with her, even with the Karen situation at the Attitude Party saying, well, I don't have no way towards it, you didn't hurt nobody, kill nobody's child, stuff like that. It was like, what are you talking about? You don't even have an opinion in this. You don't have no stake in the game. So I don't know where Jackie fits in this equation, but she ran around the table. But you can't come for people and expect them not to come back. You come for somebody. You sent. Karen showed up. So, Jackie's saying how Karen is horrible to come for her children's father. But you came for, Mia came for Kay and her ex boyfriend. So it's giving the pot calling the kettle, calling the kettle, calling the pot. I really didn't get it. But, Mia, they leave for the breakfast table. Mia, she's running upstairs, pulling up all Karen's charges. Like, girl, we know all that. We read all that already. Lily says she needs to lay off the makeup for a good while and take care of that skin, just like Zariah. We talking about Mia. Agreed. But she in the limelight, girl. She gonna wear that makeup as much as possible. But yeah, Mia, she's pulling up the charges because her friend got ate the fuck up. Now she upstairs pulling up charges that we already was aware of. Stacy dropped by Mia's room, and of course, Mia shows Stacy the charges, asking Stacy, be careful what you're defending. Is this what you stand for? DUI, driving without registration, evading the police, whatever all the charges are. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but she's scrolling side to side, reading them all to Stacy, and Stacy's acting completely shocked. Like, girl, you don't read? You got social media. It was all over the place. Are you really good friends with Karen then? If you didn't even know this or you're acting so shocked by it? And Stacy runs downstairs to Karen, exactly what Mia wanted her to do, and says that, she saw the charges and that Mia also told her that Karen admitted to needing help with alcohol and that she needed rehab. And she asking, Stacy's asking Karen, should I be worried for you? You like Stacy, Summer's finest. I don't dislike Stacy. Yes, she brings a breath of fresh air of positivity, but overall, I just didn't like that scene. How she got this information. She got worried about her own reputation and who she's friends with, and let what Mia said to her as far as like, be careful what you're defending. Is this what you stand for? And it almost to me came off like she went downstairs to have this conversation, not out of pure concern, but more so out of, let me be clear that I don't stand for this. Let me be clear for the fan base that this is not something I stand by. I didn't know this, so I'm asking. And do you need help? It didn't come off sincere, because if it was sincere, that's not something you probably would have asked her or talked about on camera. Again, knowing that Karen can't talk about this situation, and that would be incriminating for her to say that she may have a problem with alcohol. So I don't know. And Stacy with this guy is just really, really corny to me. Not even because they're not having sex. That's cool. You don't want to do that. That's cool. But he also seems very naive about housewives. Maybe he don't know nothing about it, but he was like, "Yeah, you're on this trip. I want you to bond and communicate and let them support you." And it's like, are you new here? Because you're not gonna get no support there. But I don't know. I'm still feeling Stacey out. I don't know. I'm still feeling her out. But that's how we ended with Stacey asking Karen about, does she need rehab? We're still in Lake Norman this upcoming week. I will give you a sneak peek. But overall, it was the first episode where I feel like, oh, okay, Potomac trying to kick up. They trying to finally enter the chat. It took a minute, but is a slow start with Potomac, but this past episode, it was shady, a lot of bones, a lot of bone carrying, and I was here for it. It was a good episode. Summer's finally says Stacey don't know what she getting herself into, so it seems pure. Okay, naive then. I want to know more about her relationship with this guy from other aspects, though, Summer Finest, than just we're not sleeping together, we're friends. I feel like there's something to it that we're missing. This guy, I get he's an actor. He's been on a couple of shows. His IDP have a little length on it. But I heard her say that this guy was also working at QVC. So it begs the question of, was there something going on? Does he have something to go do with your divorce? Or is there no fraternization policy at QVC? Is he still working there? Are you still working there? Because you came back home from Philly. You were living out there working on QVC. So now you're back here. So did something happen there? I want to know more about that. Those are the questions that I have. So I'm hoping that Stacy is on Watch What Happens Live so I can ask my questions on X to Uncle Daddy Andy so he can ask her. If not, these are all questions I have for the reunion. So I'll be looking out for when they ask for these questions on Twitter. But that's when I'm interested about Stacy. Just being my own messy self, prying. But yeah, off to a better start with Potomac. They kicked up a little dust. So we'll see what happens in next episode on Sunday. Sneak peek is on the way. Make sure you watch. Now let's get into RHONY, y'all. How dreadful. How dreadful is RHONY? Y'all like RHONY? I still can't get into it. I can't. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. It's really not. The only person, I think Jenna is a cool person. I like her. And I'm genuinely interested in Raquel. She has a very good story. Just not even a story, like just learning about her, I'm intrigued. Yeah, Lily said RHONY is a snooze. Yeah, it is. Ra- Raquel, like I said, I love getting to know her. I think that's a true mark of a new housewife or a housewife in general when you genuinely want to get to know them and their life, their story versus they come on and they create some storyline out of beef to try to gain popularity. Summer's finally said boo to Summer's to RHONY as well. You said boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. I'm trying, y'all. I'm watching it, but I told you guys how I feel. RHONY is the only recap to me that feels like work. Everything flows with me genuinely. I'm enjoying the shows, but this is the only show that it feels like a task to watch it and a job to sit here and recap it, just being honest. But on this episode, this past episode, this last Tuesday of RHONY, we catch up with Erin and her liqueur business. She's telling us how she was in Tulum and some years back, and how her house manager told her that tequila I guess in Mexico, which I found very offensive, by the way. But she said that her house manager in Tulum, Mexico, told her that tequila is the poor man's drink, and mezcal is what I guess the rich in Mexico drink. Why do y'all like Aaron? Can you tell me if anybody does like Aaron? Why do you like her? Besides, God bless her mom, who we see going through chemo on the show, but genuinely, the things that she say is rude. She's a shit starter. And on top of that, I don't like how she's treating her husband. The conversation that she had with him selling the Bitcoin and her saying, like, I didn't want to get married. I could have still been out here getting on private jets. He's bending over backwards trying to, that's why he sold the Bitcoin in the first place, trying to keep up with the Joneses to keep her happy. Because it almost is like you see it in his face, like he looks at her as if he feels like he doesn't deserve her and he has to do everything to keep her. And she knows that she's talking down to him this season, which y'all know I'm old school. I ain't into the talking crazy to the husband or disrespectful and all of that. I don't believe in that. Again, I ain't gonna let my husband disrespect me, but it has to be a mutual level of respect. And I just don't like her. And I found that very offensive because we out here on that Don Julio Actifulio. What? And that ain't no poor man's drink. And what is mezcal anyway? I guess I'm too poor to know. But I thought that was very offensive for her to say that. Nor do I believe that she's the first person ever to bring mezcal to the United States. Y'all tell me why y'all like her. Let me know. Lily said they need to cancel it. I haven't been watching after the second episode. Yeah. And no, it's not even that I miss the old girls, even though they were a riot. And even Ramona, I know she said things and she's very offensive, but she was also offensive towards them. I don't care for her, but that old chemistry works. This group seems a bit childish, and we're just stuck on this stool pigeon storyline. It's whack. But yeah, she's preparing for her mezcal or whatever liquor Cinco de Mayo party for publicity of her brand. That's what she's preparing for. So I don't know. Anyways, I guess it's doing well, the Moscow. She mentioned how, like, it's in all these businesses, and that MetLife Stadium over here in Jersey is, looking to have that be the only mezcal that they serve at the stadium. And I'm just like, yeah, because there's gonna be flying off the shelf at MetLife Stadium. Like, football watchers usually drink beer, but whatever. Whatever. But yeah, Erin talks to her husband in that scene as well about Jenna, and that Jenna's texting her that they're working on their relationship. We then see Jenna, and Jenna's mom is in town, and she talks to her about, not Jenna, Jessel. Jessel's mom is in town, and we see her talking to her about her frozen embryos and how she wants a girl. Jessel's mom tells her that, it's no walk in the park, girl, to have three children. You already got two that's young toddlers. They're twins. And then you want to add a third one. She said, it'd be great to have a girl, but it's not going to be easy. And Jessel said, yeah, I'll just get a night nurse and a day nanny. Like a night nanny and a day nanny. I said, oh, problem solved. Lucky you. I'm just hating y'all. I would love to have a night nanny and a, and a day nanny. Would love that. I don't even need a night nanny at this point because they just go to bed. If I could just get the when they come out of school nanny till it's time for bath, because we don't let other people, even if we let, like, we have a babysitter, we always give their bath and put their pajamas on before we leave. So if I could just have what is that? Midday nanny? A few hours nanny, I would be great. But that's what she's saying. Like, yeah, she just get some nannies and problem solved. She also wants to go to a therapist with her husband, Pivot, for communication. And she talks to her mom about that. So she's gonna bring that up to Pivot. I hope I'm saying his name right. No disrespect, but later in the episode, she talks to him about it. It doesn't go well, but we'll get into that. Sai, Uber, and Raquel, they meet up and they're trying to figure out if Jenna is engaged or not. You know, it seems like Jenna, she keeps her life very private. She doesn't share a lot. She's trying to keep it under the wraps. So when they were in the Hamptons asking her, she was kind of, quiet about it. Then she's in this article. So they're trying to figure out, is she engaged? Is she not? Is the ring that she wearing an engagement? It seems like it is. But Raquel chimed in saying, maybe she's trying to keep it quiet. And she tells her story as to why she kept her engagement to her fiance quiet. And I genuinely enjoyed listening to her story. I always do. I really like getting to know Raquel. Someone's finally said the marriages on the show seem so weird. Yeah, Aaron and the way she's treating this man over Bitcoin. I thought he had did something way worse than sold off a Bitcoin, honey. But she's, treating him a mess. Sigh. We don't even really see her husband that often. It's like he don't even exist. She's just about fashion and content creation. And right, Pivot and Jessel, the communication. I mean, they're gonna be the next Beverly Hills if you ask me. Everybody look like they headed for Splitsville. Not wishing that on nobody's marriage, but no one has like a great marriage or this like great husband like we usually see when we're in love with like Joe on New Jersey, or we was loving Mauricio on Beverly Hills. We don't get that. Even Salt Lake City, I love Meredith's husband. He's hilarious, even though he work all the time. John Barlow, he love his Lisa. Even Justin, even though he went about it the wrong way, he getting messy this season. We usually, I think that the housewives are cool. I mean, the house husbands are cool, or they hang out together. We don't see that on New York at all. They don't hang out with each other. Yeah, I agree with you, Summer's Finest. The marriages seem a bit weird on this one. But yeah, Raquel talks about how she was married to a man. They were both in the art world. Their business was together, and they kept it under wraps that they were going through divorce for a long time because they didn't want to be, lose financial partnerships in their business if they found out that they was divorcing. They were pretty much a brand together. So breaking that up could come with some consequences of losing some of their financial partnerships. And it finally broke through, I guess, a blog or magazine that she was dating her now fiance. And rumors started swirling that her fiance was the reason that her marriage ended, that she was cheating, all things that weren't true just because she didn't even let the world know she was going through a divorce. But again, I love her fiance. I love their relationship. They're not married, but they seem to be the normal relationship, the fun, compliment each other well. I cannot say the title that her fiance holds. She's like a forensic something surgeon or a neurosurgeon, something real fancy like that. Make her buku money. But I like their relationship. Genuinely, they look like they fit and they're a good match. And I like getting to know Raquel. I really do. Besides Jenna, she's the only one that's interesting to me on the show. And it was good. It was rare. It's rare. I told you that. Where you could be genuinely interested in a housewife just to get to know her. She didn't have to come on the show going at an OG. I mean, none of them are OGs on the show. It's only their second season, but she didn't go at nobody, start no shit. She just came in, being herself, letting us get to know her organically, and it works. I like that about her. But we catch up with Bryn. She's talking to her brother. She has a new job working with a dating app, which I thought was perfect for her because that's all she do is flirt, flirt, flirt. So I thought that was perfect with her. She talks about the Hampton trips with her brother, and she's crying about Uber cursing her out. She's playing victim, but isn't she carbon monoxide? Right? Ain't that what she told the group? So, Brandon, I told you she's definitely a pot stirrer, and yet she throw that rock and hide her hand and want us to feel sorry for her that Uber told her to hell off. I don't. I don't. So, if you get this shit, you gotta be able to take it. Is how I felt. We then see Jessel talk to Pavid, her husband, about the babies, and he basically shut it down. He was like, "No, it ain't happening." Hi, Hensy on YouTube said Bren is so annoying this season. Yeah, I think that Bren skyrocketed in the first season, just popularity. Everybody thought she was so great, so funny, so flirty. They loved her. They loved her tagline about just date your dad and all of that. And this season, it's just steadily declining. I think she gained popularity way too quick without getting to know her. I told you guys the flirting, the laughing is all masking traumas that she needs to deal with. I personally, I feel like I can see straight through all of that. She's not really that happy. She's lonely. She doesn't have, anyone. There's traumas in her with her family, and she needs to deal with that. And this is all a facade, in my opinion. But, Jessel talks to Pavi. He shuts down the whole baby conversation. He lacked seriousness in the conversation. He was making jokes, and she's like, "What if we're one of the embryos?" She asked before, like, "What if one of the embryos is Beyonce?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't need another Beyonce." Just, he's not serious. He's not taking her serious. And it begs the question of, for me, those are conversations you kind of need to have before you marry someone. So you don't end up like that. And I guess people are entitled to change their minds too, right? But what are you storing these embryos for and paying $1,000+ a month to store them if you guys have no use for them? If you don't plan to use them, why are you doing that? So I don't know if they had the conversation and he's changing his mind. I don't know, but I don't like the way he talked about her. I always say this about women: 90% of it is not what a man does, it's how you do it, how you say it, and when don't embarrass me. Don't do that. And he was embarrassing. Like, he was treating her like he didn't care about the conversation. He didn't want to talk about it. He more worried about his honey hot chicken and noodles and mess. Like, this is a serious conversation, but he seemed childish to me in that conversation. And she was on Watch What Happens Live after, and she says, it hasn't gotten better. He didn't get her a birthday gift for her clueless birthday. He didn't get her anything, even though they were talking about on this episode about Mother's Day. She said he just got her some deli store flowers. I don't know. He's more interested in making his food content, which I thought she married an investment banker, but now he's a food content creator. He does it all the time on his page. I follow him, but I just didn't like how he was embarrassing her, not taking the conversation seriously. And even with the conversation of, let's see a therapist for communication, like, yeah, especially for you, you need it. Not saying that Jess was perfect, but in that conversation, it was like, it's giving you the one that needed, for real, for real. But I didn't like how he did that. I didn't. He really shut it down. He didn't listen, and all he wanted to do was suck down honey hot chicken. We also saw Raquel went to an art gallery with her fiance, and she talks about how her name is Mel, how she was treated when her divorce hit the news. And she also talks about her mom. So we got to know her a little bit more, saying that, once she got divorced and she let her mom know that she was dating a woman, that her mom stopped visiting for Puerto Rico. She doesn't come to New York to visit anymore. It's been about 10 years. Like, this divorce was nothing recent. They've been together for some time, her and Mel. and she wants to try to restore that relationship. Again, it was interesting to hear her story. I, even in the Hamptons, when she shared about her father, I'm genuinely interested in getting to know Raquel. It's the night of Aaron's Cinco de Mayo party for her mezcal. I don't even know if I'm saying that right because I've never heard of it. All I know is Moscow Mule, but it's not that. Her mezcal is that party is underway. And at the beginning of the party, here go Aaron, starting shit, knowing that if it come back to her, she gonna be crying and sad. But she tells Uba and Sai that Bryn was pissed with them. That at the last time she saw Bryn when she was out with it was Aaron, Bryn, and Jessel. That Bryn said some things like Sai is an evil troll, and she was mocking, which I didn't like. Uba with the whole no, 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 no. She's always yelling and cursing and stuff. She was really upset. So Aaron ran that back to Uba and Silent instead of letting Brent handle that on her own. So now they're on the defense and aggravated and waiting for Brent to step through the door, basically. Bryn comes in and she avoids the lady. She hangs out with Aaron's dad, which was so cringe. That was so cringe to watch her hanging out with Aaron's dad. I did not like that at all. Like she's flirting with him, she's throwing her hair and laughing, ha, 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 saying all this inappropriate stuff. Like that is her dad, bruh. Again, I told y'all it's a facade, and she really needs to get some. She needs to do some soul searching for sure. It was really cringe to watch, but Sai, and also I felt like Sai and Uber acting oblivious as to why Brent would be avoiding them was a bit crazy to me as well. Like, sis, you cursed her all the way out in the Hamptons. Sai sat by and watched it, but also had, some issues with Brent and the Hamptons. But you sat there when Uber cursed the house. So for them to act like they're oblivious to it, I didn't get that at all. You know why she avoiding y'all. Uber comes at Jessel asking, was Bryn talking shit? Why you didn't say nothing to me? Like, and Jessel never wants to be in anything. She's another one that talks tough in her confessionals, but she doesn't want to be a part of any conversation. She wants to use her mom brain excuse and act like she's too busy and doesn't know. But she was asked, she couldn't lie, and she told Uber like, yeah, she was talking about you guys. And Uba is upset with Jessel for not saying anything to her. And I said this in my notes, Jessel wants out of it clearly, as always. Bryn finally comes over and they jump right into it, asking, so you mad? For what? Uber jumped right into the conversation. Uber tells Bryn that Aaron said she was talking shit. And now Aaron says, well, it wasn't that deep. It wasn't that serious. It wasn't that deep. It wasn't that serious. Why did you say it in the manner that you did, saying that Bryn was pissed and that she was talking, all this crap about you guys? You blew it up, and now I want to make like, oh, it's not that serious because you in the middle. Again, why y'all like Aaron? If you do, let me know. I don't know why. But I just didn't understand why she said anything at all if she was going to jump out of it after she started it. Uba is questioning, and she picks up the water, drinking it straight out the pitcher, not even out her cup. And Jessel questioned that or said something about it, and Uba called Jessel a basic bitch for not telling her that Britt had said something about it. She said she a basic bitch. And Jessel's like, I am not a basic bitch. What are you talking about? That's not me. She gets offended. Like, girl, you offended when you literally walked up to the table and said, something smells. Is that you, Aaron? You wear that natural deodorant. Now you offended? Honey child, please. But yeah, everybody at the table is fucking offended. Aaron is offended at Jessel and saying that she smells. Jessel is offended that Uber called her a basic bitch. Um Rebecca has to leave. which I found interesting because in the middle of all this, Rebecca Minkoff, she's on the show. She had to leave for an award that she was getting of some sort, and Bryn gets shady again. Then you wonder why you getting cursed out. But Bryn says, "Oh, she's leaving for an award. I didn't know they give awards for Nordstrom's rack. Are you on Nordstrom's rack? Are you in Bloomingdale's? No. Worry about your dating app." But that's what I'm saying. Like she says shit. She's shady. She stirs the pot, going between, telling what people said. Now when they confront you, they curse you out. Then you crying on the phone with your brother. I thought that was rude of her to say. So when it get back to Rebecca, but Rebecca ain't really handling these girls. She's not a great addition to this show, in my opinion, either. She doesn't really say much or have any scenes. So in the one scene she has, she leaves. But I didn't understand that, but we'll see how Rebecca handles that because we know it's gonna get back to her because everything gets around, the stool pigeons, so it's gonna get back to her. Um, we see Erin go make a speech welcoming and thanking everybody for coming, and while she's doing that, Brent is still getting messy because she's standing up there with her husband and the other owners of the liquor brand, and Bryn kind of repeats what happened in the Hamptons and insinuates that Erin slept with her business partner back in the day, like when they were in high school, the co-founder who was also speaking in the speech. And she like, yeah, he took stock in that ass. And yeah, he up there. He was calling her, he called Erin and her husband their best friends. And he was making jokes like he's their marriage counselor. So that's more shit stirring. We'll see where that leads. Aaron didn't deny it when they did the little flashback to the Hamptons, but not something that was shown really. And now you're bringing that up. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure Bryn did that because she was mad that Aaron told Uber inside that she was talking about her. But it's just every episode is a game of telephone, stool pigeons, whatever you want to call it. It's childish. It's like they're finding things to argue about instead of actually having genuine issues with each other. I'm just not on board with this season yet. I'm trying, I'm hanging in there. I'm gonna keep on recapping it, but it's just not happening for me over there at RHONY. Call me biased because of Salt Lake City. You can call me biased because of the old RHONY class. I don't care. I didn't like last season. I felt like it was a trauma competition. I told you guys that over and over and over again, where they were trying to gain the viewers by sympathy vote of, oh, you say you broke up, you woke up, or you grew up poor. You had $20. I only had three. It was I wasn't feeling last season, and I ain't feeling this one. That's just my unsolicited opinion. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Real Housewives of Potomac and Real Housewives of New York. I will set your alert, y'all, because I'm just doing it as it flows right now throughout this rest of this week and this weekend. I owe you guys the Salt Lake City recap. I'm gonna try to come back tonight and do the weekly roundup of reality TV news. So look out for that. But just set your alerts on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. If you can't watch live while I'm on, you can always again subscribe to my YouTube channel. All my recaps and weekly midday tea talks are there for you to watch whenever you have time to. So please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Now, before I get out of here, as always, if you have a business or product that you want me to promote on my social media platforms, I'm continuing to grow daily. Welcome new followers and thank you. My promotional prices are there. If you want to be a sponsor for the podcast and you want to have me promote your business or product on my podcast. I'm doing up to 8 shows a week. You can email me if you're interested in either what you see above here, reality_recap@yahoo.com. My Cash App is down in the corner. I appreciate all your donations, $reality recap, because the tea is not free, honey. And I'll be letting y'all have all the tea. So support your girl and help me to continue to grow my platform. Now, like I say, before I end all my shows, Reality TV stars are humans too. Don't forget that. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. Look out for the Reality Weekly News Roundup, your recap of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, last night's episode. That is on the way. I have my thoughts. And I also have Real Housewives of Orange County starting tonight as far as their reunion. Part one starts tonight. And I will be giving you my thoughts on that. I gave you a sneak peek earlier today. So make sure you watch that. All right. Well, Romaine, if you want free tea, go get it where it's free. I'm looking for support over here. Okay. Thank you. Now, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Set your alerts. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. Peace.